Joining me now is Mike Huckabee, former Arkansas governor, Fox News contributor. Also with me is Horace Cooper, co-founder of Project 21, and Tom Bevan, co-founder and president of Real Clear Politics. Horace, shouldn't voters be speaking out or thinking about what's happened, not just tonight or this week or last week, but let's just look at the last decade. Last decade, we had 8 years of Barack Obama and Joe Biden. And by the end of it, as we showed that Gallup poll, I believe it was the Gallup poll in 2016, race relations were worse. But Biden comes along now and says, oh, we just need to sit down and listen to people and hear them and validate them and so forth. Does that work in connecting with a worried America tonight?
What former President Obama said and the statement by Vice President Biden, it has demonstrated why after 8 years with them having the pulpit, being able to stand up and explain to America what their objectives and their goals were, why we started off with such great hope and optimism on the basis of race in 2009, and then by the end of their term, America actually was more racially divided than we were before. It is these types of incidents. I'm not talking about what's happening in Minnesota. I'm talking about those who exploit these incidents for their political gain. The president, the former president, often was willing to do that, and many of his supporters are.
Tom Bevan, we had Steve Harrigan on the ground, and he was talking for a moment or two to a 16-year-old in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and he said, you know, it's police brutality, and we're fed up, we're done with this. And so the young people, you know, they see these images and they think the system is rigged against them, and America's a racist country, and that you have to turn that around. But that's been cemented in the minds of young people for many years.
Yeah, and look, I mean, people look at that video of George Floyd, and nobody likes that, and nobody condones that in any way. But the problem is, we should be able to address that, but also be able to condemn the rioting and the looting that's going on. I mean, you can do both things at the same time, and that's where, you know, President Obama said these things, but didn't condemn the rioters, and that's the only way that you can establish sort of balance. I mean, voters don't like to see that either. I mean, to see, you know, shops and stores burning. I mean, that as you said, first of all, it harms the community that it happens in, but it's also it hurts the protesters' cause. It doesn't advance the cause that everybody wants to see. So you know, it's a tricky thing, and it's going to be interesting to see how the public views these two things. The longer these riots go on, you know, it could produce a backlash.
Governor Huckabee, I think Americans are just inherently good people. And they're optimistic people. They want to think the best of their fellow man. In our last minute, right now as we move forward, are people going to err on the side of we need law and order restored now, or do they want to, you know, keep this kind of cycle going until we reach some ongoing consent decree that'll affect every police department in the country?
Laura, you said it right. Americans are good people. Americans believe in justice, but they also believe in mercy. They felt mercy, they felt compassion, they felt horrible when they saw the systematic, intentional murder of George Flynn. I mean, that's repulsive to every single American.
Floyd.
That's the mercy of us. But the justice of us also says you cannot let people go and destroy cities. Sadly, I was a teenager in 1968, and this is reminding me of 1968, when after the assassinations of Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy and the Chicago riots during the Democratic Convention, Richard Nixon was able to allay a lot of fears across America and say, there's got to be law and order. And Americans took that seriously. I think this could be another seminal year. We need that kind of understanding.
Yeah, safety and justice. Justice for all and safety for all. Gentlemen, thank you so much tonight.